I'm Mateus Behrend, and this is my presentation of the Shawshank Redemption, a parable of hope and justice. Just as a warning, I will not be showing many of the clips because they contain strong language and explicit content. Hope and justice are two major themes in the Shawshank Redemption. Hope is a feeling of expectation and desire for a certain thing to happen, while justice is the establishment of what is morally correct and righteous. The fall of Andy Dufresne. Andy Dufresne is a young, successful banker in 1947 Maine who was wrongfully convicted of murdering his wife and her lover. Andy is given 2 consecutive life sentences at the Shawshank State Penitentiary. Here, Andy is subjected to the brutalities of prison life. Convinced of his innocence, Andy holds firmly to the thing he claims can never be taken away from him: hope. In this quest for freedom and justice, Andy Dufresne shows the value of friendship and the power of human spirit. Andy uses his friends as a source of strength. 2 major friends are Ellis Boyd, Red Redding, and Tommy Williams. Andy develops a strong bond with Red, a black inmate who has built a reputation for smuggling goods into the prison. Red is soulful, kind, and knowledgeable, but he is resigned and hopeless. In his fight for freedom and justice, Andy becomes Red's redeemer. Andy exposes the corruption at Shawshank, which ultimately enables Red to win parole. Andy teaches Red to choose life over death and lures Red into a beautiful, dreamlike place. Through Andy, Red realizes the power of hope. Tommy Williams is a young and newly arrived criminal. Andy teaches the illiterate Tommy how to read and helps him get a high school diploma. In the course of their friendship, Tommy reveals to Andy that he had encountered a man in another prison who had claimed to have killed Andy's wife and her lover. However, when Andy brings this information up to the warden has Tommy shot and killed. Tommy's tragic fate highlights the evil and injustice of Shawshank and motivates Andy to seek justice. Injustice within the Shawshank prison. 2 instances of the injustice within the prison are shown when Warden Norton kills Tommy and when Captain Hadley shows his brutality. The Shawshank prison is headed by Warden Norton, the epitome of religious hypocrisy, corruption, and injustice. Warden Norton uses Shawshank as a front for money laundering operation. He utilizes Andy's shrewd financial skills to run his corrupt scheme. Because Andy has become a valuable asset, Warden Norton has Tommy killed, as Tommy has information that could prove Andy's innocence. Warden Norton was worried about Andy getting out because he could leak the information that could point to Warden Norton's money laundering business. The scene of Tommy's assassination highlights Norton's cold-blooded and evil character. Captain Hadley is Norton's henchman. The brutal and cruel Hadley is a servant to Norton's unjust and corrupt operation. Hadley enforces order in the prison by senselessly terrorizing and brutalizing inmates. Hadley demonstrates his killer instinct in a scene in which he continually beats a crying inmate to death. Throughout the movie, Andy becomes the messenger of hope and justice. Andy Dufresne becomes a symbol of hope and justice within the corrupt and brutal Shawshank prison. Andy is a Christ-like figure who achieves redemption for himself and his good friend Red. Within the walls of the prison, Andy finds many ways to give hope to the inmates. Andy offers financial advice to Captain Hadley in exchange for the inmates being given beer and a break during their hard labor. Andy defies the rules by playing an operatic song in the prison loudspeaker. The song moves the inmates, making them feel alive and free. Andy also fights government bureaucracy for years in order to get a library built for the prisoners. The books allow the inmates to dream within the dark walls of the prison. After Andy's breathtaking escape from Shawshank, he unleashes vengeance on the warden and Captain Hadley by exposing their corrupt and murderous deeds to a local newspaper, hence putting an end to Shawshank's vile leadership and gaining justice for himself and the inmates. A change in Shawshank's management makes way for the approval of Red's parole. Through Andy, Red is therefore safe from hopelessness. Red is seen last in the story as a free man joining Andy somewhere far and beautiful.